It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep your operation running. That's why at Grainger, we're here for you.
どんぶらこどんぶらこどんどんゆられ揺れて目指すはどんなハッピーエンド探してたこの心ウキウキ暴れさせて冒険はいつだってワンダフル繋がってくエンドエン出会いは少しトリッキー打ち解けりゃ鬼も笑う見える景色がちょっとずつ違う皆様のお手を拝借So let's get the party started どんどんいいとこ見てどこへげに胸張ろうぜブラザー誓いは間違いじゃない楽しもうぜ Don't do that happyな Party time どんぶらと大集合踊れ笑えはははさあ老いも若きも誰も彼も君もどんぶらこどんぶらこどんどん揺られ揺れて目指すはめでたしどんどんハッピーエンド始まってたありふれた日常のど真ん中で挑戦はいつになくエキサイティング間違ってくエンドエン服は新しい風背に受けりゃ逆に売り切生きる時代にあった当たり前皆様と形を変えて Let's get the party going どんどんいいとこ取り言い訳は粋じゃないぜブラザー意義もは入れきりじゃない飛び込もうぜ Don't do that brand new な Party time どんぶらと大集合踊れ笑えはははそう過去も未来もいつもどんな時もどんぶらこどんぶらこどんどん揺られ揺れて待ってる明日はどんなハッピーエンド笑っても泣いても同じ一度の人生なら迷わず服を選びたいどこかの誰かの物差しじゃ計り知れない自分らしさ一応探せようぜどんどんトライしようぜ転んだって起き上がればいい悩みなんて吹っ飛ばして突き進むどんどんいいと もうぜどんぐでハッピーなハッピータイムどんぐらと大集合踊る笑いはハッハさあおいも若くも誰も彼も君もどんぐらこどんぐらこどんどんゆらり揺れて目指すはめでたしどんどんハッピーエンド
This holiday, Verizon is helping you bundle up incredible gifts and savings. You'll get the latest phone with a new line on My Plan, and a brand new smartwatch and tablet. No trade-in needed, even on our lowest price plan. That's 2 gifts for your family and 1 for you. Or 2 for you and 1 for someone else. Or 3 gifts for you and only you. Either way, you save big on 3 amazing gifts at Verizon. All on the best 5G network. Visit Verizon today. Rankings based on Root Metric Root Score report dated 1/8/2025. Your results may vary. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Additional terms apply.
HBO Max is available on YouTube. Watch Emmy award-winning TV shows.
Welcome to the pit. Go save some lives.
Are you okay?
Why wouldn't I be?
Nobody beats Deborah.
I deserve a better life.
I'm working on it.
What are you gonna do to get it?
Might be the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me.
Get more of your favorites on HBO Max, Paramount Plus, AMC Plus, and more. Find must-see movies and TV on YouTube.
答えはいつも私の胸になんでだろうあなたを選んだ私ですもう止まらない運命様から決められたけど I believe 真似だけじゃつ
Sorry about that. I just had to go to had to use the restroom before we got started. But I am here, and I do apologize for like the late start because like my OBS was being a butt, so I was trying to get started streaming, all that good stuff, and so now we are here. So now we're here, and we're gonna have a good time. I'm sure we will. Oh, excuse me. We are currently multi-streaming right now, so this is pretty cool. That'll be like the norm moving forward on the channel. Speaking of which, I thought we're gonna do some art today, some art. But I figured today, before we get started with that, I wanted to talk a little bit about this video I keep seeing on my recommended page, pretty pertinent topic to yours truly. And so, this is from a content creator named by the name of Antonio Speaks. This is pretty interesting. I feel like this might be a little pretty interesting video. I want to take a look at it real quick. I think this is pretty dope. I think that we'll still more about. I'm just curious about it. Let's have a look.
Nerds, aka blurs, is the topic of today's video. Now me, I consider myself a nerd, but some may not. So for example, I love video games. I've been playing them since the age of 7.
My first video game was Sonic 2, and I ain't even looked back ever since.
Love sci-fi films, consumed about every DC and Marvel comic. On the flip side, I'm not into anime. But
now look here. No, I'm playing. Yeah, there's definitely like a lot of like other like black nerds that really don't watch anime or stuff like that. It's like, and that's fine. Do you, like, it's your own personal experience, not anybody else's. So that's all I got to say about that. Like what you like. Like, that's what I say.
But growing up, I was very into films like Teen Titans, Samurai Jack, Avatar: The Last.
All valid, by the way.
Airbender. So I guess
like every last one of those are super duper fun. A lot of people like really like do not like Teen Titans Go, and Teen Titans Go seems to not like them either, and it's still going to this day. That's crazy.
Some it would be debatable. So within the black community, especially growing up in the hood, being a nerd or just even consuming the culture will make you stand out. It goes against what's stereotypical for black people. This is a flaw within the black community.
Yeah, that is unfortunately true, especially for me growing up. Like in middle school, I feel like, I'll tell you, look, so in middle school, it's like I knew I liked it, but I tried to hide it to seem cool. But I didn't. But I was like, oh no, I wasn't like Naruto running down in the hallway like people like to say or whatever, or like trying to turn Super Saiyan 3. I wouldn't have to do none of that, but like, I knew I liked stuff like things like Dragon Ball and stuff like that, like Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, things like that. But I remember in high school there was a cable channel called Colors TV, and what it did was they had this cable deal with Funimation. They would show like a couple hour block of anime. They would show like Dragon Ball and Lupin the Third and Detective Conan and like a couple shoujo anime, like the original Fruits Basket. Like, it's all these certified hood classics. Like, it's pretty wild. It's very interesting. But yeah, every time I talked about it, I was trying to draw, like in high school, I drew anime and stuff like that. Oh, by the way, speaking of middle school, it wasn't, actually, no, I started like, when I really started embracing a little more, like in middle school and high school, what I really did is I used to draw like these Sonic the Hedgehog comic books, which is ironic because I don't really get a bunch of like Sonic comics now. I used to draw them myself. Like, I drew them and wrote my own stories, like basically all my knowledge about the games up to that point. I think Sonic Adventure or Shadow the Hedgehog came out and stuff like that. It's very interesting stuff. And I would love to have played it. There's a whole bunch, man. There's a whole bunch of stories I could tell about my experiences growing up nerdy and being black. But, you know, of course he did say that, like you said, that it does make you, like, stand out, stuff like that. Because, oh, yeah. And I'm going to get to that in a minute.
Do not like. I say this all the time, but as black people, we are not a monolith. And we got to start respecting that within the community. I will say this, though. I feel like in 2025, being a nerd is kind of cool. Let's say versus the 2010s or the 90s. It is most definitely more acceptable now.
I want to talk about how all of a sudden being a nerd is in and we're erasing all of like that awful childhood stuff that happens to so many of us. Because now it's, oh, we weren't bullying y'all because y'all were into anime. We were bullying y'all because y'all stank. Or y'all were always doing something weird. A lot of y'all were bullying us just for being into different things. I went to many schools with other smart black kids.
She's not wrong, because, like, I remember in my theater class, that's another little fun fact about me, my little theater class, that take me back. There was an assignment we were supposed to do. We were supposed to, like, look at Lord of the Rings. And one of my other classmates, well, you like this? And we were like, we're just watching like the whole trilogy. Watching like the whole trilogy. It's like, you like this? You like this? You like this? It's like, yeah, so what? Like, I really didn't answer, but in my head I was like, yeah, so what? I don't care. Like, this is fun. And that's my process. But anyway, yeah, that absolutely made me fucking stand out, because we would always do like a written test about it. Most of my classmates would come to me. What's the guy name? What's the dwarf's name? You know, you've heard it like a million times. There's like three whole movies we watched, and you still not like, oh, what's his name? What's his name? Like, stop, just stop.
I love to read. And I got the pants bullied off of me for liking to read in a smart school. I had my black card revoked so often, I'm pretty sure I'm still in black folk debt, because like I don't think I have one. White girl, whitest black girl I know, Oreo, wanna be white.
Yep. I got all that. That caused me too.
All of it, all the time.
And I'll tell you, like, see, like these new age black geeks, they would never understand how it was to be a black geek back in the 2000s and 2010s. Now that was the trenches. Like, I consider myself a black geek activist because, bro, back in the day, bro, I had to defend my hobby. Like, y'all don't understand, the insults were crazy. Like, we would be talking about, like, normal, like, crap in front of everybody, and then, like, we would go home on our computer and be having discussions about anime with people online. Like, people don't understand. Back then, most of our anime discussions or geek discussions were, like, were on the internet. They were not in real life. Because if you even spoke about anime, like, you were about to get ostracized real quick.
Now, for me...
Yeah, I can see it, cause it was totally like that for me too growing up. Cause not only did I do all my nerdy stuff, I also played football in high school too. Oh yeah, I played football in theater classes. Like, hey, I like to do things, man. Like, it's cool. Yeah, I wasn't like a full on theater kid, but like I never got to like do like a play or whatever, but like, yeah, but I like to do like, but then I spent my time doing like, oh yeah, football and like my nerdy stuff, and like, you know, I would like go to a football practice, and then I go home and like read manga, or I remember a charter bus ride we were taking from our town to the next town to do a football game. It was like 2.5 hours. I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and just read this manga. Like, we're on the charter bus. We got all the time on the charter bus. Like, okay, yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh, we would talk. I would talk about like anime with one of my classmates. We could talk till like from like lunch to like lunch till like the end of the day, talking about anime stuff, and then like, oh yeah, and then I ran an anime club in my high school, and then in college I was in like the anime club too, and I ran it for like a couple years.
Me, y'all, I did not have these problems, and that's why I kind of think to myself, was I really a nerd, or am I really a nerd? But looking back, I was most definitely a nerd, bruh. This was me in the 10th grade. I mean, I had a 4.0 GPA, was in pretty much all AP classes, dog. I was
Yeah, I had AP art classes. Red Dragon MA had a very diverse life.
book nerd. The thing about it is, as a black nerd, you really just gotta find your group of people. And even just
that
being
is
a
true.
nerd in general, I hate this talking point because even nerds in the white community are done the same way. Like,
I got bullied for
Also
liking anime,
true.
and then I got bullied for wearing anime and an Avatar t-shirt, and like that I liked Pokemon, and that I carried a DS, and I was in bands. Like and I had braces, and I had glasses. There was just so many reasons, and I had short hair. There was just so many reasons to get bullied that like getting into Kingdom Hearts was another reason I didn't want to get bullied.
Don't worry, we're gonna make it. We've been looking for clues to find Clay.
Gear up with premium
Ah.
BJJ, MMA, and Muay Thai apparel
Not
designed
gonna lie,
for warriors who train hard.
Like those.
Oh, I'm sorry. The clue board? You mean my clue board?
So all those nerds in high school, like the weird theater kids and the anime people.
Hi, weird theater kid, captain of the speech and debate team, anime fan.
You know who I'm talking about, the people we didn't hang out with.
Thank God for that, by the way.
So they've grown up now, and they're the ones making the laws. They're the Mark Zuckerbergs. They're the Faucis of...
I don't think that's the nah. And then this chick, like, it was like the chick that like said slurs. Like, I don't know.
of the world's of fucking nerds.
I hate to break it to you, but those effing nerds are not just the Mark Zuckerbergs and Fauci's. They're highly successful, influential people because it turns out hitting the books actually was helpful.
This isn't just a black thing. Maybe the talking points of, you know, you're acting white is that talking point. But as far as you getting bullied or looked down upon, it's pretty much the same way. Kids are mean. Like I stated, you have to find your people. And with me, I had a different group of friends for like pretty much every situation. Like growing up in the hood, those were like the hood friends. Then when I got to school, you know, me being in like different classes, I kind of met my nerd friends. So I had that group of friends, and I had my friends that was back in the hood. And also I played sports. I love sports. So, you know, I had my friends for basketball. The one thing I did deal.
Yeah, because I think that was me too on the low key cool. That I had like I had my football friends, like people who I could hang out with. Then I had like my anime nerd friends who I still talk to some of them to this day. And then I also had my friggin' who else did I have? I had a lot of different people I could talk to. So it's like, cause I swear in college, cause I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. And they would come straight to me and say like, hey, you remember me? You remember me? It's like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, man. We had that class together, and this and that, and this and that. It's like, dude, I remember you. Like, It's like, yeah. It's like, okay, hi. And then we just reconnect them instantly. They all like moves and stuff like that, or just like, or sometimes I would get this. I feel like I've known when it's like I feel like I've known you for like forever. It's like. Yeah, I get that a lot too. So yeah.
With though that I hated was me being labeled a game freak. Like I just love playing the game. I remember growing up, bro, like they'll come knock on my door for me to come outside. I'd be like, bro, I'm on a game and I don't feel like coming inside. Like, you a game freak, bro, get out. But I always felt like it was just like with love. Like they was joking, but it was with love. And I stated this in one of my second channel videos. I feel like the black community, our love language is joking. So, you know, maybe sometime these jokes were hurting your feelings, but it wasn't like meant in that way. This isn't justifying it, but that's my thought. Anyways, with them already having this backlash from the black community, in return they end up being very anti-black.
Like, it's not that I didn't want to connect with black people, but
I know that fella. They're cool.
But I didn't know any other blurbs that like Minecraft. And a blurb put me closer to whiteness, not because I wanted to hang out with white people, but I just wanted to hang out with that like Minecraft. You get what I'm saying? I just want to say it is incredibly dangerous to be in close proximity to whiteness no matter what. And the reason why I say that is because I think hanging around with people that like Minecraft and everything definitely ingrains some self-hating attributes to me. It's not because of Minecraft, but it's the proximity to whiteness.
Within the nerd culture, there is not a lot of black representation. Just think about it. You're constantly consuming this media of people that don't look like you while receiving this hate from the people that look like you. That is going to turn into internal.
Yeah. It's not wrong, cause like there will be times it's like there will be times I'd be like some of the people would be like when I was in the anime club in college, and they'd be like you watch Naruto, you watch One Piece, you watch Naruto, or let's say like Naruto, they say that on purpose. They would do stuff like that, and it's like just to get on your skin. Like you said earlier in this video, the kids are mean. It's like, you know, it's just weird. I don't know, man. It's just really weird.
Analyze racism. And I say this all the time, but everything is a alt-right pipeline. And the nerd culture is no different.
Yo, what happened to the nerd community, bro? When did we become Republicans, bro? When did we become conservative? What happened? What happened? We don't like girl power now because it's the feminist agenda? You didn't like Kim Possible?
I saw someone say, when did the nerd community just become another avenue or pipeline for right-wing grifting? And the answer is simple. The same way that the gym community became just another avenue for right-wing grifting and right-wing content. The same way like dating advice stuff has just become another avenue for right-wing grifting. What does the gym community, the dating advice community, and the nerd community all have in common? It's full of lonely people. A lot of people in the nerd community.
That is true. It's a lot of people, like, you know, in the nerd community, like, you know, you, like, again, like I said, find your people, but it's a lot of people in like the nerd spaces who are just like really lonely and really looking for like really they're lonely, or you know they're like they're uber lonely, or they got some stuff going on at home and they use like the internet to like do this sort of like escapism, or you know that you know they don't really have like they don't come from such a good home, or they don't have like the best social life, and I think that they just use the internet and online forums and fans as an escape. Cause like, you know, the internet, let's be real for a second, the internet basically has become like the third space. We talk, even though I believe there are those third spaces out there, but I also feel like, you know, the internet very much has become like the third space, for real, for better or worse. Cause I've met some wonderful, sweet people online. I've had great experiences like connecting with people online and stuff like that. And it's not always like that, and I don't think it's always like that. I'm very fortunate, and there's like other people not so much, and yeah, so I can definitely agree with what he's saying.
Community get into nerd shit because they're lonely. A lot of people start working out because they're heartbroken and they're lonely. A lot of people get into dating advice content because they're lonely. Lonely people are very easy to manipulate. If you find a lonely person and you tell them you're the victim, everybody else except you is the problem, now go buy my course, that's basically an infinite money glitch. That's why. It's just lonely people who
yeah, the old red pillars. Fortunately, a lot of that community has died of the most painful death. And a lot of that stuff is just like people like trying to like guys like these really bizarro weirdo dudes just like preying on people's insecurities to like push a victim complex. Like advocation is one thing, but like when you may turn to like a hate group, it's like bleh, it's just dumb. But yeah.
Brave acceptance and a sense of community are taken advantage of just in the way that cults do.
For more bedtime stories and savings, get the Flexure Credits electricity plan from Reliant.
The world's first titanium nonstick pan. It's gonna blow your hair back.
Nonstick pans.
Like it's really not that complicated.
Now the anti-blackness goes up another notch because a lot of black males in the nerd space feel like black women just hate them.
I'm curious to know if this is actually a thing. Black women will ignore men that look like this because he's weird, lame, nerdy, until he achieves success, then see him with a woman like this, and then all of a sudden label him a sellout. Let's be real, a lot of y'all don't like black women to begin with. Don't matter if you're a D1 athlete or comic book nerd, there's a very small majority of black men that do not like black women. Now, why is that? I couldn't tell you. But at the end of the day, this argument right here could be a little bit valid if we're considering that there are unrealistic expectations for black men, especially young black men in this economy and in this world right now. And there is that stigma of hypermasculinity in the black community. This automatically would make nerds and simps unattractive, and certainly undesirable.
Black girls called you ugly? So do you want me to believe that the white girls called you handsome?
Once again, I did not experience this. This isn't to say it's not true.
Alright, time to get a little candid here. You know, it's interesting. Okay, I didn't really have that problem because like I had like black girlfriends who like the anime too and like nerd stuff too. I could talk to them, stuff like that, and it's fine. Like at the same time, like, you know, me growing up, you know, asking girls out and stuff like that, and just kind of falls short. And that's another thing you gotta remember, like you're gonna get rejected a lot, and that's fine. You know, it's not indicative of your worth as a human being. But, you know, for me, I think that I really didn't have that issue because I just really wanted to be like, friends with everybody. So like, there is that. Sure, I asked out people and got rejected, and that's okay, and that's fine. At the same time, it's like also like, yeah, I can see where a lot of the other videos are coming from.
But I just feel like it's the way you carry yourself. And also, you just gotta find your, like, swagger, you know? There's a stereotype.
Also, that is also true. That is also true.
Type of, like, the smash bro type of hairstyle. Maybe your lips be crusty. In simple terms, man, you just gotta have game. White nerds go through the same problem while talking to white women. So, like, I hate that correlation as well. And I think what the problem is, a lot of people be holding on to what happened in high school.
Yep. I swear, there's a lot of people that I can talk to that sometimes I feel like they kind of like they really didn't like graduate high school. And I've heard that people have had the conversations, oh, I wish I could go back to high school, I wish I could do it again, and I would do this differently and that differently and XYZ, ZYX and etc. And like, yeah, I can agree because I've had those thoughts too in the past, and yeah. But at the same time, and just like, oh, I wish I didn't have to like do this and do that. And it was just so much easier and this and that, and you know, like it was in high school. Like, nah, high school's done and over. I've been out of high school for a long time, and I really don't think about it all that much no more. Like, it's like there was, yeah, sure, there was good parts. Like I talked about my time. Huh?
Can you turn that oven on for me? I can't make it in that kitchen.
All right.
Pull that baked chicken on top and turn that. You not turn the oven on?
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. kind of gotta redo that now. Hold on. Let's see if I got this right. Yeah, okay, I got it right. Yeah, I gotta redo that. I gotta redo that part. Darn it, I didn't mean to do that.
White nerds go through the same problem while talking to white women. So like I hate that correlation as well. And I think what the problem is, a lot of people be holding on to what happened in high school.
That is true. Okay, we'll say it again. That's very, very true. That I'm not gonna sit here and lie that I was immune to that, because for me, I experienced a lot of bullying, stuff like that. You know, people taking my clothes, people taking my food, taking my comic books and sports magazines, and it weren't Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. They weren't. They're like, hey, straight up just Sports Illustrated, or one of them Texas football magazines, and I would read it. And I would like to read it because it was like up to date and current stuff. Because I love playing football. Like there's a different time out of me like playing football instead of being in like the martial arts. But yeah, also the other nerds like to bully me too, because in high school, we had a manga section that was about as big as my shelf over here with all my stuff. And so I take it upon myself, and I found this big encyclopedia, this big thick encyclopedia of like 300 different manga, and like using that and my own knowledge at the time. So I started working with the librarians and making like lists of manga to get, and they would get them. And one of those was Lucky Star. And so because Lucky Star immediately became a favorite anime, because I went through a very depressive episode in high school where I was a very depressive episode in high school where it was like, oh man, I was like this and that and this and that, and then I found Lucky Star, and I became enamored, and this is the anime that got me hooked on anime, and I have this to thank. Ooh, excuse me. And I was very lucky enough to meet Michelle Ruff and Kari Wahlgren at WeebCon this last April. And I ended up talking to them about Lucky Star, and I told them the story, like, aw, and they loved it. And I remember when I was checking out Lucky Star at my school library, and it was like, I had a couple other classmates who was like, no man, that's for girls, man, no man. It was like, I got it on both fronts, from like the football teams to my clothes and my food, stuff like that, and I got it from like my other fellow nerds that got this. But there was still like those pretty dope moments with like all my other fellow nerds, like just some other ones were like, no man, because all this goofy stuff. But but he's right. There are a lot of people who do hold there are a lot of people who do hold on to what happened in my high school, and I was one of those people for like a long while until like I really healed. I'm telling you, healed. And I really don't think about high school all that much no more, but I do often hear people say like, "Oh yeah, I wish I could go back to high school. I would do things so differently," or they'd be like, there's just interesting stuff like that. But yeah.
Whether that be the glory days or those be the bad days. It's been 10 years, bro. We don't care that you scored a touchdown in 10th grade. And yet...
And that's another one. It's like, because there's a lot of my classmates who play football. They were like the guys, and they didn't really go on to play like football, like past like the high school level, but even like community, even like college level. I think there's like one or two that did the college football, maybe, I don't know. But after that, not a whole lot of them went on to like try to have like super amazing careers like the NFL or whatever.
Yes, you may have been bullied in high school, but let that shit go, brother. My entire friend group is majorly made up of nerds. My best friend, this is us when we graduated, he was valedictorian. I was like maybe 4th in the class. Now he is most definitely considered a nerd. I mean, huge WWE fan, very into anime, loves video games, but he's never had a problem talking to black women. And big shout out to my boy. He just graduated from Clemson University, 2 years ago now? We just got off the game a few hours ago.
I feel like a big part of the black nerd experience is going back, trying to watch your favorite YouTubers and realizing just how much racist commentary was throughout the entire video. Like, when did Jen calling Michael Jackson a monkey fly over my head? Huh? Or that one try not to laugh challenge where they just straight up said the N-word. Huh? And I really got a bone to pick with Pat Jen because I used to go crazy for some Pat. Like, you can ask around. We used to go crazy for some Pat Jen. Even now with pet sobriety, it was a black woman's video that I saw use this hashtag. Yet, okay. And not even just them, like other gaming channels and YouTubers too, especially in gaming. And I can already hear the whole,
Yeah, unfortunately.
oh, it was a different time argument. I can get that. It's really the fact that black kids really never had a safe space. And I feel like that's why it's so easy for them to be indoctrinated into like the red pill pipeline, because it was just small stuff in every single video that we could even like explore within like the nerd genre.
For example, like me growing up, the biggest gaming YouTuber in the world was PewDiePie. And, you know, I watched his videos, but like it was just
PewDiePie. Yeah, I heard the guy. I heard he's pretty much like, for all intents and purposes, he's just like retired. He lives in Japan now, and he got like a kid and everything. It's like that's the last I heard of him. I watched him like a couple videos, and I don't see the appeal. He's like a silly little guy, but you know, not really for me. But I heard about all the other stuff he was doing.
Just, it was something off. I couldn't really connect with him. And this was before he had the whole N-word incident. But it was extremely rare for me to find another black gaming content creator. And this is why I give so much praise to creators like Berleezy, RDC World, Korean Kenshin. Because, bro,
for me, it was Andre, Black Nerd Comedy, who basically was like my inspiration in getting into YouTube in the first place. But yeah, he's putting out some old school YouTubers for like stuff like that.
Representation matters. And it's like growing up in these nerd spaces, we rarely get it. And that is why I love that with the visibility that TikTok brings in 2025, I've been finding some amazing like comic book creators that are making pro-black comics for black people, bruh.
This right here is my...
Yeah, that is absolutely true. When I'm on my For You page, I get a ton of black comic book creators and stuff like that, and just like people who do like independent work, and they're really just doing what they can. I really hate that they're not gonna. I really hate not saying that they're not going to, because they do some solid stuff. I just I wish they got more exposure. They like a lot of these creators don't have the deep pockets of like your Hulus, your Disneys, and stuff like that. Like Hulu, your Disneys, your Marvels, and et cetera, et cetera. So they can only do so much. But I wish that every last one of them nothing but the best of luck being able to like make their stuff come true.
Comic book known as the Black Fist, and this is one of the most popular series in the Battle Chi universe. Let's talk about it. Black Fist takes place in the 1960s. It's about a superpowered alien that piques the interest of a KKK Grand Wizard that fears he is a danger to the world and to his community.
I made a comic book. This is it. It's called Astro's Falter. Astro's is a supernatural, somewhat horror-themed comic series.
I love that.
With a comedic and cozy twist. The story takes place in this timeline and in this universe. It's a story about a girl who spends her entire life training against the invisible demons that roam our world, all before the magical seal keeping her invulnerable to demons begins to disappear.
Popeyes put garlic palm tenders, cheesy bites, and marinara sauce in a damn good Freddy Fazbear box.
Now, I ended up making a post on my Instagram. Make sure y'all go follow this, by the way. And I was curious.
I need to post more on Instagram.
On what was my black nerd's experience.
Being a black nerd was some crazy plot progression. If you liked any type of anime, niggas were gonna fry your shit alive. And the crazy thing about it is the same people that would be trying to clown you would be the same people trying to be in group projects with you, and the same people trying to copy answers. But I'm not gonna lie, going to college was probably the best decision I ever made, bro, because I found my community here. There's a bunch of black nerds here, and we've shared things with each other, and you know.
Yeah, I don't regret going to college and, you know, getting involved with like all the things that I hadn't been involved with, like when it comes to like anime and gaming and stuff like that. It did teach me a lot. It just built, and I, you know, got community people. Pretty dope, you know? I like it. And I got to indulge a lot more in my love for Power Rangers and Super Sentai and anime and eventually like MLP and stuff like that. And like, you know, it's like just things like that. I think it's really cool and I really loved it. But even though it's been quite a long time, I'm just like, you know what? Even though it's been quite a long time, and I still do keep in touch with some of the people that were in the anime club in my college. For the most part, like, you know, this is what it is, man. But I do love the community that was built there. There's a lot of good memories.
You know, I feel welcomed. I don't feel judged or anything like that, man. And, you know, people are a lot more accepting here. But to be honest with you, man, I've absolutely loved the journey. Like, this upcoming spring, 2026, I'm graduating with my Bachelor's of Science in Psychology, bro. And we're going to med school after that. So, to all my black nerds out there, don't be afraid to be you, bro.
We really need to talk about the hatred for black women in the black nerd community, because a lot of black nerds, they like hang with white nerds, of course, and they want to be accepted by them. So then they just start shitting on black women and be like, yeah, they're ghetto, and just starts.
Yeah, that's another thing I noticed too. There's a lot of like, this is it makes me sad. And then there's the same people that like whine and complain they can't find like girls and stuff like that, you know. And you know, oh, the black girls didn't like me because like anime. It's like, you know, because you went around like taking a dump on them, and you know, oh, it's like not like you went around like being like cruel and nasty toward like black women. It's like, you know, this is weird. I don't know, man. It's just like, I don't know, man. You would think that, you know, you could like become friends with black girls or, you know, stuff like that. You could actually like talk to black girls. Like, you know, you can't, you know, they're gonna call you out. Just, I don't know, it's just weird. I just think it's just really weird. And I just think it's really weird, like a lot of dudes will do that, and all they're allowed to get over, they're too aggressive. Like, you know, I feel like there's kind of that overlap with the red pill nonsense and stuff like that. It's a lot. It truly is a lot that goes into like what I'm thinking.
Talking shit about them, right? And then also talk bad about women in general. A lot of nerds, they can't get girls, so you know, talk shit about them. And also, along with the red pill community, because
yep, see,
a lot of the nerds, they want to get their anime physique, so they start watching those workout videos, and then those.
That is true. There's a lot of people who, I say this often, Dragon Ball probably is one of the biggest catalysts of martial arts. The people getting into martial arts because they want to be strong like Goku, they want to be strong like Vegeta, they want to be strong like Gohan or stuff like that. Like, unlock the potential like Gohan and XYZYX. So much motivational content that has anime and stuff like that. It's like, oh, this and that. It's like, oh, this, you know. Like, I see it all the time in like fitness, on fitness YouTube, fitness TikTok, XYZYX. And it can be like productive if you're recognizing that, you know, you want to get fit and you want to get fit. You want to feel better, you want to look better, but like when you start using it as like a cudgel to basically say I'm better than you, and you need to validate it, and you go wah. When no one validates it, it's like, okay, great, you look great, you look like great body transformation, like, and then just move on with their life, and they're not validating you constantly, you know. Then it's like, oh yeah, like you have to do it though, gosh. Do anything. I don't know. I just think there's a lot of, like, you know, when people do that and it just gets unproductive.
Workout videos turn into how to get girls videos, and also turns into hating women videos.
My experience being a black nerd is a bit different from other people. Not only
Hey yo, I see them Rangers back there. It's the Samurai Ray. Oh, I'm gonna get nerdy on you real quick. You see this? Do you see this? This is a spin sword, even though it technically doesn't spin. But do you see it? See the Rangers back there. soon, or very, very soon, I'm trying to decide which Rangers I want to cosplay next. Do I want Red Samurai or do I want Red RPM? I don't know. This is one or the other. I'm leaning more towards Red Samurai, but I see the Rangers back there.
Because of the era that I grew up in, but also because of the environment. With me being a 2000s kid, I was never really feeling ostracized for being a nerd because nerdy shit was everywhere. And I'm an inner city kid. I grew up in lower income neighborhoods, and there were a lot of black folks within those neighborhoods. So a lot of us bonded over these things that would be looked at as nerdy. There's a reason that schools would ban Yu-Gi-Oh cards. There's a reason schools would ban all.
That is true. Like, you know, there have been Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon cards. You couldn't do like cross chops like D-Generation X because like you know. You would get expelled. You get expelled. Well, maybe some people did, but you get suspended and stuff like that if you did like any of those.
All the Bakugan toys and Beyblades, and I'm sure every kid that grew up in the 2000s had that feeling of watching a cartoon on Saturday morning and holding in that excitement when Monday came. Everyone couldn't wait to gather around the lunch table and talk about the latest episode of Dragon Ball or Sonic X or whatever was on Saturday.
That is true. Like Sonic X was another one for me. Hey, watching Sonic X, or you know, because again, this big Sonic nerd right here. I always joke and say this isn't a Sonic channel, but yeah, I would talk about. I will play like I would have a lot of love for Sonic.
Saturday morning at that time. But what I'm trying to get at is there was never really a point in time where being a nerd worked against me. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit of a social butterfly. I would hang with the theater kids, I would hang with the anime nerds, the music heads that would rap at the lunch tables. I was bouncing around and talking to
You got them Rangers in the background. I'm distracted.
everybody. I can't really think of a point in time where liking anime or liking comic books or liking video games, whatever, I can't think of a time where that wasn't cool, especially when the second anime boom happened in the 2010s. If anything, that point in time worked in my favor. Because a lot of black folks who weren't into anime or anything at that time, they knew someone who was. So they would approach me and ask me, hey, what's up with Naruto? What's Attack on Titan about? I heard Dragon Ball is coming back. What's Dragon Ball Super about? If there was someone who wasn't caught up with the latest geekdom fandom news, they came to me because they knew someone who was. And as far as being a black nerd specifically goes, I don't think there was ever a time where if someone did shame me for being a nerd, it didn't make me want to question whether or not I wanted to be around other black people. I never thought that black people didn't like anything that I was into. That's just ridiculous. But even if you don't know black people who are nerds, you know at least one black person who watched Dragon Ball Z. They may not know
That is true.
jack shit about Power Rangers, but
Yeah, you know, that's actually something interesting when it comes to Power Rangers. This has a unique case. It has a unique position for a lot of people. Because I've said this many times throughout the history of this channel, that most people, when they talk about Power Rangers, they're talking about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Like he said, he's a 2000s kid, so 2009, 2010, he probably grew up watching Power Rangers Samurai. So yeah, he did grow up watching Power Rangers Samurai. Power Rangers Samurai is a lot of people's Mighty Morphin. I see a lot of love for it. I see a lot of love for it on social media, and so like there's that. But a lot of people's like kind of split. They love Mighty Morphin, but they don't like the other seasons because their whole thing is Mighty Morphin because like that was the one that was the start of the franchise and stuff like that. And then there's other people that like, oh, that's weird. That's like who get those occasional people that absolutely did not like Power Rangers. They never understood the appeal of Power Rangers. It's like, oh, or try to like, and then they try to make you feel bad for liking Power Rangers because they didn't understand the appeal. Like, yeah, get out of here. Get out of here. You're lame. You're lame, son. But also, there's also, what else was there? But I think it's like with Power Rangers, now I can kind of talk about it a little more openly. You know, I can talk about it a little more openly, or when I was cosplaying SPD Red Ranger or OG Red Ranger or Dino Fury Red Ranger, there's a lot of people that will come up to me at conventions and take pictures, or they would like, oh yeah, we love that, or they would talk about or you know, all kinds of stuff with me about Power Rangers, and I think that's really cool. And that's really cool to have now, and I can have like there's like a big community of like Ranger content creators, stuff like that I can talk with on social media, on Twitter, despite me not trying to be on that site for too long. But yeah, I thought that was all really cool. But I also feel like that's another thing when it comes to like being nerdy. It's like, you know, a lot of people used to like really despise Power Rangers, but now like Power Rangers got that surge, even though the series has ended. And Super Sentai is to follow suit once Ghost User ends and written Project Red. There's still a lot of love for like all of it.
I bet you they know what happened with Goku versus Frieza.
All my black nerds come experience in the comment section. Did you have a similar experience? I am curious. Also, we hit 90,000 subscribers. Yo, we getting so close to 100K. We closing in on the year 2025, and I low-key want to clutch this 100K before the year ends. So if you made it to the end right here and you're not subscribed and you enjoyed the video, subscribe. What you doing? Also, turn the post notifications on. No more talking. If you want to see something similar to this, go check out how woke lost its real meaning, man. It got gentrified.
I use PayPal to...
That was a good video. I liked it. That was a good video. So yeah, I think that was a pretty dope video. I'm not gonna lie, that was a dope video. I liked it. So yeah, I'm not gonna stop right there, but you know, I'm not gonna stop right there. But you know, that was a fairly good video, so we're gonna have that ready to go some other time. Okay, so for now, we're gonna go ahead and get into the art of today.
The Squishy Boys are out.
Ooh, stomach. Alright, so we can get down here. Get down here, and then we're gonna go up. All right, here we go. So yeah, that was a pretty cool video. I thought it was very interesting. It very much had my expectations. Very much exceeded my expectations. That is a dope video. I like it. We're gonna get to it in just a second. Just give me a moment. Here we go.
Right now.
No.
Content. Well, good
What
evening, ladies, lads, and lasses, and welcome to the Click.
Looking like a Red Pill, looking like a Red Pill alpha male guru.
You smell absolutely astounding today, and don't let anyone else lie to you and tell you otherwise. Now, I know what you might be asking, Click. How do I become as rich and successful as you are? Well, you're in luck. Now we're selling a course, The Sigmas of LinkedIn.
$10,000.
And then I know you naysayers out there will ask, but Click, if you're already so rich and successful, why do you need to sell your shitty LinkedIn course? Well, it's in my course. Go,
Bro,
go
it's
buy
in my
it.
course, bro.
Buy it now. Man, I look like such an absolute asshole. I look like I could be that slimy James Bond villain that's like sitting in the back of a club or whatever, like the Twitter alpha male equivalent of that is.
Oh God.
With the headphones, I look kind of like a sleazy pilot. So anyway, today we're going to look at r/LinkedIn lunatics. There's a lot of takes out there about like the grind set, whether it be alpha males on Twitter, lunatics on LinkedIn, or like 16-year-olds that think they have life figured out and they're selling courses. Unironically, I sat with a few friends and scrolled through that rabbit hole the other day. It was incredibly fascinating. But anyway, LinkedIn lunatics is a lot of fun, and I figured we would laugh about it together. Enjoy. Mwah. And remember to buy my course. Well, I don't have a course. Buy my plushies. That's as close as I get to selling courses. The evolution of the trash icon: 1995, 1998, 2000, 2001, 2006, 2015, 2025. My God, I hate the corporate oversimplification of logos. It had such a soul back in 1995 LinkedIn. God damn it. And this resume goes straight in the trash. YouTuber is a real job.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep your operation running. That's why at Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I had multiple clear-cut career accomplishments in 2024. My husband, 0.
Did you just call your husband a lazy bum to your LinkedIn network? All right.
No certifications, no college courses completed, no documentary features, no awards.
Oh no, my husband didn't get any corporate certifications this year. Oh, what a beta cuck.
How do you do that? I asked from across the dining table. How are you able to go through a whole year without doing any of these sort of things and be okay?
Dear husband, you didn't do any corporate courses this year. How don't you feel worthless about yourself?
He didn't have a response. There is so much to unpack and learn from an exchange like this. Specifically, what's standing in the way of my ability to be content without conventional markers of accomplishment?
This is just a humble brag. This is a humble brag wrapped in trying to be even more humble. How can I be as happy as my loser husband if I also were to be a loser? It's like, man, did you really post this unironically?
My gut says that this is a question that many people, namely high-performing women, grapple with too.
Unlike the high-performing husbands, I suppose.
I don't have an answer, but I'm curious what your thoughts are. Could you go a year without a single new certification, interview, award, promotion, and be okay with yourself for it?
Yep.
Would you think of a colleague, direct report, manager, friend, or spouse differently for not doing so?
I could just see the new hype for Tinder profiles. It's no longer 6 figures, 6 feet, 666, or Satan, or whatever. No, it's going to be,
6'7".
did you have at least 6 certifications at your
6 or
job
7,
place completed this year? Otherwise, I am not going to date you. Oh, they should just make like LinkedIn dating. Has anyone made that yet? That would be so bad. It would be so funny to make content on, please.
Hashtag women in cybersecurity, hashtag cybersecurity, hashtag certifications, hashtag career development.
God, I fucking hate LinkedIn. Although I do respect, no, respect isn't the right word. I am flabbergasted by the fact that this is posted like a poorly disguised humble brag about how many certifications to do in the year, simultaneously throwing your husband under the bus, insinuating he's lazy, but still he's a good person because he manages to be happy despite being a loser. And then I'm not a loser, but I also want to be able to be happy even if I hypothetically was a loser, like my husband over here. Bruh, what? The only career advice I have is make every decision that moves you closer to not having to be on LinkedIn. I am not on LinkedIn anymore. It's amazing. You know how I communicate with like people I work with and like consultants and colleagues and like brands and like make ship and stuff? Discord. Yes, indeed, I am everyone's business Discord kitten. Oh, Discord kitten, have we talked about the ROIs this morning? Oh, yes, indeed. Sorry, Daddy, I'm late to our Discord call about return on investment KPIs. Why has my brain melted so much? Anyway,
r/LinkedIn Lunatics.
Let's talk about it. No, you're not posting about a subreddit on LinkedIn. This is going to be great.
A platform where people spend their free time mocking strangers for having thoughts on LinkedIn.
So groundbreaking.
They call these people lunatics. But let's check the actual definition, shall we?
Oh no, bro did not just whip out the dictionary definition. You know that an argument is going well when they whip out dictionary definitions.
Lunatic, noun, someone who is wildly irrational, erratic, or emotionally unstable.
I'm gonna be honest here. The point of this post is disproven by the mere fact that the post exists. If you had this much good stuff going for you and was busy, like, I don't know, posting your business philosophy, you would just do that instead of caring about what a bunch of strangers post on a subreddit. Like, let's be honest here.
So tell me, who's really embodying that?
Oh my.
The person using their voice on LinkedIn. Or the keyboard warrior spiraling over someone else's opinion like it personally derailed their childhood.
Okay, I don't think people are reacting that strongly. It's more like, look at this cringe. I also like how it's like, using my voice on LinkedIn, but the other ones are keyboard warriors spiraling over and crashing out on Reddit. I love this framing. This is amazing.
Screenshotting strangers, foaming at the mouth, and harassing strangers you've never met. Now that is deeply unstable behavior. The truth is that you're not calling out cringe. You're just wildly allergic to confidence, conviction, and anyone who dares to take up space unapologetically.
This is the same kind of words I see like crypto bros use. Have you ever been in a forum for like investors and stuff, and you see people talk about crypto, but they never say anything with actual substance? Always like, you gotta believe in it, bro. Conviction. They talk about it like it's a church. Like, bro, I'm here to plan my retirement, not to pray to whatever digital bullshit you've invented, okay?
I am happy to announce that I can't take it anymore.
Absolutely valid LinkedIn post. I'm happy to see this as 10k likes. Hell yes, slay. LinkedIn lunatics. Here we go again. There are a lot of people ranting about LinkedIn lunatics on LinkedIn.
Most people don't know that you can get a domain from Squarespace. Not just a website. But you're not most people. Because
LinkedIn lunatics is a subreddit where 792,000 people spend the days doom scrolling LinkedIn. I think the LinkedIn users probably spend more time on LinkedIn, honestly. To make fun of LinkedIn users and post about it on Reddit, have you ever wondered what these r/LinkedIn lunatics folks do for a living? I read memes. I have a degree though. I never use it, but it's on the wall somewhere. Imagine waking up every morning thinking, I can't wait to screenshot some LinkedIn posts today. They created a whole community to laugh at people trying to grow professionally. The employed community versus the unemployed community. But hey, at least to get it Reddit karma points, right? Unlike you posting this for LinkedIn likes, I guess. Maybe we should create r/Reddit lunatics. It already exists. There's already r/Reddit moment, okay? Reddit shits on itself on the regular. It's fine. Just a thought. Hearts and recycle emoji. Follow for more. Hashtag Reddit humor. There is no humor in this post whatsoever. Oh my god. 3 levels of wealth. No LinkedIn. LinkedIn? No LinkedIn. Absolutely based. I am now a resident of Dubai. That means my legal powers just went to a new level. I have got an Emirates ID card. I've got a house in Dubai, which means that if you talk badly about me and it's not true in the UK, I can now get my Dubai lawyers to write to you. Who are you talking to? Just say you're happy to move to a place. What? You might go, I don't care about your Dubai lawyers. I am in a different jurisdiction. What that means is, if you ever come to Dubai... What do you mean? What? If you ever come to Dubai, you'll be detained and put in prison for defamation. And it is a criminal offense to defame somebody who is a resident of Dubai. So, it's just good to have different options, you know. Who are you talking to? Who is gonna follow you to Dubai to, like, defame you or commit crimes against you? Who is this post directed to? That's the most fascinating questions. I feel like there's such a large untold story behind this post. Cybersecurity and information technology analyst. Hi beautiful heart emoji. I love it when people start their emails to me with hi beautiful. I just blush everywhere. I recently put in an application with your company for a clinical RSAS programmer role. Would you be able to connect me with the hiring team so we can schedule an interview? Thanks. Wow, thanks for ignoring me, you whore. I don't appreciate that. Okay, the hi beautiful was fine. You don't have to call me a sloot bag at the end of an email, okay? You can have a different signature. You see what I mean? LinkedIn dating would be great. It would be so good. For everyone would love it. Everyone would love it. Stanford rejected me. MIT said no. Harvard ghosted. VCs passed. My dream internship didn't happen. Still, I went on to get the Platinum Trophy in God of War because real warriors don't wait for validation. They forge their own path. Absolutely based. Absolutely based. This is the unemployed hero that we all need. You know, people often talk about wasting time or whatever, but there is that old quote that goes something like, time you enjoy wasting isn't wasted time. Of course, balance your life appropriately or whatever, but I kind of enjoy wasting time as long as I enjoy what is being wasted, and usually it can create really nice memories as well. Oh, we got Side Hustle King. Okay, let's see what Side Hustle King has to say today. Would you rather get paid $1 million right now, or $50 every month for the rest of your life? I will take option B because I can't do math. That's what passive income is. Find a way to make passive income. It will change your life. Finance is easy if you just pretend math doesn't exist. Alright, let's break this down for a second, shall we? $50 a month for a year. It's 12 months, that's $6,000. No, it's not even $6,000 bucks. It's $600. Okay, so anyway, if you put $1 million in just basic safe investments and we count on a pretty like low return, right? Let's say just 5% per year. That's still $50,000 a year you can make in like growth return. Just put it in a global index or whatever. And you'll make definitely more than $600 a year. If you have that much money just laying around, you can create a pretty decent chunk of passive income. That's what it means, you know. Magical made up $50 a month, which is $600 a year, versus the dividend from $1 million invested, which is like $50,000 a year. Could be more as well, could be less, depends on the year, but typically that would be a pretty like reasonable expectation. What the these people don't know anything. Side Hustle King. What are all your hustles side hustles? Is that what that means? I feel so sassy and mean today, but I think it's justified. Everyone is trying to sell like bullshit knowledge, and it's all ass. CEOs and founders, follow me for tips, and that means you have one person following you and you're unemployed. Anyway, PTO, I just don't get it. You wouldn't get it. You're unemployed. Why should employees get paid for not working? You don't even know how fucking PTO works. And you're telling me CEOs follow you for tip? What the fuck? You work, you get paid. No work, no pay. It's as simple as that. Okay, maybe it works slightly differently in different countries, alright? But at least in Sweden, where I have been working and employing and all that kind of stuff, PTO, or vacation days, is days that is included in your salary package. If you have vacation days left when you quit a position, you will actually get that paid out in cash instead, because it's work days you have already earned through your package. It's part of your salary, basically, if you will. That's how it works. So sure, you could take away PTO, but then you would have to add that money to the actual salary instead, and then the days you take off would just be not paid, but it's compensated for in direct salary instead. How can you claim that CEOs follow you on LinkedIn? Anyway, next post. CEOs are some of the lowest paid people on earth. Man, the hot takes are just flying today. The hot takes are really hot. I should eat chili for this, some sort of challenge. Income is calculated as a percentage of value created. For example, a minimum wage worker costs a company $35,000 per year and may only add 50 or 75k in value, or 50% ratio. This person, for example, cost Chase $46 million in 23 and added $98 billion in value, or a 0.046 ratio. This might be the worst take I have ever seen. in my entire life. Looks like LinkedIn is just becoming Facebook for people with 9-to-5s. Zero substance in this post. So wait a second. The entire market cap growth is due to the CEO? If that's the case, they could just fire every single employee and keep the CEO. Even that 35k year worker employee apparently doesn't contribute a single penny. It's all just the CEO. What this post says is, I'm stupid, I have no common sense, we begin yourself. You know what I've learned here today so far? It's that every social media is absolute garbage. It's just garbage with different flavors. You know, sometimes you grab something from like a dumpster and you don't look at it, you close your eyes for a bit of a surprise. You're like, a special flavor. Every social media has its own special flavor. And this is LinkedIn's special flavor. r/recruiting hell. Is it true you shouldn't say hello when answering the phone? I recently debated my aunt, who is a VP of HR for a large company. She claims it has always been standard practice to automatically disqualify someone if they answer the phone by saying hello, instead of saying, hi, this is Blorp. I argued and said it's the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. The rest of my family agreed with her and said one day I will understand. Okay, with the amount of phishing and scams and stuff going around, just spam calling the crap out of everyone's phones, I am surprised that anyone answers with their name anymore. I never answer with my name. Last time I answered with my name, I got a death threat. Okay? I don't do that shit. My stance was if I am disqualified from a role for saying hello, then I dodged a bullet, and I do not want to work for you. They laughed and said good luck getting an interview if you ever decided to change companies. This is crazy, right? I know it was a viral LinkedIn post at one point, but I didn't know people actually believe this. I mean, to be fair, I've also seen the post about leaders of a wolf pack LinkedIn post making an analogy for leadership in companies or whatever, and that same thing that talked about the wolves has been debunked countless times, but a couple of times a year this wolf thing still goes viral on LinkedIn for whatever reason, even though it's not even based on reality. So I'm not sure if I would base my knowledge about hiring practices on viral posts on LinkedIn. They are like the equivalents of Facebook memes, but for I don't know, the workplace.
Business class is great, but today we made a pact, and that's by 35 years of age we will only fly by private jet. Oh, bro. A second pact by age 40, we will own 2 of them. Brothers building generational wealth.
Okay, but what is it that you actually do though? And a private jet must be the worst investment you can ever make. If you're trying to build wealth, the worst thing you can do is buy something that depreciates in value, like a private jet or a super expensive car or something like that. That's the kind of shit you buy when you have more money than you know what to do with, not when you're in a growing phase.
Even for board members, respect manners.
What is this image? What is this AI generated gay adult film? Why did you post this to LinkedIn?
In our board meeting, we have a thing for feet. We walk all the way to success. And do some other fun on the way.
At this company, we're a family, and we also f each other. Boy-to-boy sales. I mean, totally respecting feet peeps or whatever, but I'm not sure if I would post it on LinkedIn. Aw, here's a cute picture of people getting married. Isn't that beautiful? I peed the bed on my honeymoon. This is on LinkedIn. Let's see where this goes. I peed the bed on my honeymoon. Not exactly one of my proudest moments. I just remember this incident after my CrossFit session this morning because I was feeling thirsty, so I recount it for you. Also managed to mention CrossFit, that is impressive. We had just flown to Seattle to celebrate the most memorable milestone of our lives. We hit up a fish market to challenge our taste buds. I didn't know what got into me, but for some reason I decided to get this spicy crab soup with this really red broth. It was the spiciest soup I had ever tasted, so much that I drank an entire bowl of it. To cut a long story short, I woke up at 3 a.m. in a puddle. Had to wake up my brand new wife and say, oh, I think I peed the brand new sheets. I was pretty sure this wasn't what for better or worse was supposed to mean. But she laughed. We still joke about it years later. Okay, this is a perfectly nice thing to laugh and joke about. I would totally crack jokes about this with my significant other, if something like this were to happen. It's the kind of stuff you crack jokes about. I'm not sure how this relates to a learning experience in business though, but I'm guessing we're getting to that part. That moment taught me something crucial. You don't need to take yourself too seriously. In business, here we go, baby. In business, I see leaders who are so afraid of looking like idiots. They never take real risks. Have you tried peeing yourself. You know when they say you're nervous talking in front of people and you should imagine everyone naked or whatever? Just piss yourself instead, but do it with confidence, and then everyone else will be uncomfortable and you can just nail your presentation. That's what I'm learning from this. I should start giving people this advice. Oh, you're nervous about starting to make YouTube videos or stream? Have you tried just pissing yourself in the middle of a stream? You know, it really calms the nerves. They won't admit mistakes, they won't ask for help, they won't share vulnerable stories that connect with people. I mean, I'm kind of buying this. Like, this is not a bad post. It's just weird that the initial startup point was like peeing the bed. I think you could have like started with something that didn't involve bodily liquids if it's for LinkedIn. You know, everything else is perfectly fine. The leaders who last are the ones who can laugh at themselves. When you're willing to look ridiculous, your team feels safe to try bold ideas. When you admit you don't know everything, they bring you their best insight. When you share your failures openly, they stop hiding theirs. I mean, I sort of agree with this cat. This is a good post apart from the piss part. My team knows I'm not perfect. Like when I hired an attorney who lost his license in not 1, not 2, but 3 different jurisdictions. Okay. Or when I built this hodgepodge of a website that looks ugly even by 2014 standards. Or when I knew to myself that was the bottleneck in our firm. I'm not sure if, like, hiring disgraced attorneys is a good idea. I don't know. Maybe there's something I don't know about this story, but that doesn't sound good. A leader who embraces their humanity creates a culture where people bring their whole, honest selves to work. And still manages to mention CrossFit. Slay Queen. Nail polish emoji. Sparkle emoji. Lips emoji. Ask Trump to milk your cows. Vermont farmer regrets voting for Trump. We voted for Trump to fix the border. Now we're milking cows alone at 4 a.m., man. That used to be a couple's activity. We don't think they'll come for the people to help us milk the cows. Local just don't want to do this work anymore. This is what LinkedIn is like nowadays? Man, it looks like Facebook. I just finished a 30-hour flight from the US to Saigon. Are 30-hour flights a thing? Wait, hold on. I have to Google this. The current longest flight is Singapore Airlines flight from Singapore to New York, which takes about 18.5 hours.
I quench that thirst.
Burberry Hero.
Okay. So anyway, I just finished a 30-hour flight from the US to Saigon. Most people paid for a flight. I paid for a 30-hour mobile office in the air. My friend saw me coding. Why not just watch a movie on Rex? They're not on the grind set! Not on the grind set! I calculated the RIO for sleeping on a 30-hour flight. I don't pay to sleep, I get paid to sleep. So I broke down the math for her stupid female. The ticket wasn't an expense, it was an asset. It bought me 30 hours of uninterrupted time. Okay, it's the same when I sit on my couch though, and like edit videos. Sleeping is a conscious decision to depreciate that asset. Or, you know, sleeping is also a recovery time, you know, which is good to incorporate in your stuff. That goes for both work, it goes for studies, it goes for like hitting the gym and fitness. Rest and recovery is a very important part of progress, okay? You can still be productive on a flight or whatever, or you can choose to sleep, but rest is certainly productive as well. Sleeping is a conscious decision. Alright, I guess just don't sleep then. My friend was literally setting her money on fire for 14 hours straight. I converted that same time into 3 new features. That's pure alpha. Are they using Sigma lingo on LinkedIn? What the fuck? This is why this person says he's always working. From the moment he wakes up to the moment he goes to bed. He's not working. He's just running his native code. After we landed, I went straight to a cafe and hosted the most active builder meetup in Saigon. My friend asked why I don't get jet lag. Because I don't sleep at all. So you run on cocaine. You don't get jet lagged if you don't sleep for 3 days. And you just snort the fuck out of cocaine. I told her rest is a legacy feature I had deprecated. What kind of like burnout shortcut is this? Work is rest, because founders are just built different. Connect with me for more useful business advice. No thanks. In stuff like this, there's always like snippets of it that is like remotely true, right? It's like I can relate to the fact that when you like run your own thing, not everything maybe feels like active work hours. Like I can sit on the couch with a morning coffee on a Saturday and be like, oh, I have actually spent 2 hours gathering ideas for videos and answering emails and, you know, chatted with a couple of YouTubers and bouncing ideas for some. It's like, sure, maybe it's technically work, but part of it is also just like vibing with friends. Like, I don't know, it's in that gray zone where it's like sort of productive, but it's not really strictly work time. You know, it kind of floats together a little bit when you do like your own thing. And I can sort of buy that, but the rest of this is just unhinged. Rest, people, no matter what you do. You want to hear something like inspiring about rest, okay? I do a lot of weightlifting and powerlifting. I had some friends drag me along to a club a couple of years ago. And my personal best lifts have typically always happened when I have been like traveling for a week, or had a cold for a week, so I hadn't been able to work out, and I'd get back to it. Because then you're like at your best. You have recharged, you have fully rested, you've eaten well, you've slept, and then you get back at it, and bam, you beat your old record. So that is something like pretty inspirational about rest, I suppose. Some of my peak performances ever has been after a prolonged rest, and that's a pretty good thing to take with you. Don't listen to stuff like this. This is just shortcuts to burnout, both physically and mentally. Who wants to tell him there are no flights that last 30 hours? I mean, that's what I said. Maybe he counts the layover or something. I don't know. But the math ain't mathin'.
I got constipated last week. My doctor said, you should add fruits to your diet. Loser mentality. Those daily 45 minutes in the bathroom weren't wasted. They were opportunity. The strain gave me focus. The silence gave me clarity. The relief gave me perspective. The aroma of another win lingering in the air. By the time the flush echoed, I had solved 11 bugs, resolved 15 issues, merged 4 pull requests. What my doctor saw was suffering and hemorrhoids. What I saw was my future legacy. We are not the same. Hashtag no toilet paper.
When a child is in the hospital, visitors come to say hello. And when visiting hours are over, they leave. But family does whatever it takes to stay. At Ronald McDonald House, we believe families shouldn't have to fight alone, so we make sure they have everything they need with
Bastes. We all have guilty pleasures. One of mine is looking at photos of American families all fucking tooled up at special gatherings. It's that peculiar combination of social bonding and peacocking, combined with the threat of lethal force. I find it endlessly fascinating. Okay, to clarify, this picture, if I understand the post correctly, isn't actually him. He's just making fun of families that post like this. Which is really funny. This dude would belong perfectly on this subreddit. This is great. Well, business LinkedIn, here is my 5-year-old daughter going ham with an AR-15. Christmas vibes, baby. Elon Musk is receiving zero compensation for all the work he's doing with Doge. Oh yeah, this post must be a little bit old. His focus is not on money. He is driven by the goal of making a significant impact and ensuring the survival of humanity. Or like wandering around the White House being high as a kite and then having like little cat fights on Twitter with Trump or whatever, but I suppose that's also a way to word it.
This is how my wife budgets her $7,000 a month allowance.
All right, LinkedIn, lay it on me, baby.
This is how she spends it. Medical care and nutrition, $1,800. Celebrity hairstylist, $1,800. Manicures, $350. Skin care, $350. Dinner with friends, $200. You spend thousands of dollars on hairstyle and nutrition, but you can only eat out with your friends basically, what's that equivalent to, like once a month? Bro, this is so sad. Savings and investments, $2,500. Okay, that's pretty smart. If my boyfriend was giving me an allowance, I'd probably put it straight into my savings account, but yeah. This is only possible because while I work on growing my company, I have a credit card machine placed at local businesses. They make me 1% of their total net sales. A grocery store sells $60,000 a month, so I get $600. A tire shop sells $90,000 a month, so I get $900. Oh, okay. If you have the capability to give your wife an allowance, do it. It works for us, and let us be the best partners possible for each other. And it lets us focus on becoming the best parents. I have put together a detailed breakdown of how credit card processing works as a simple business model, and how it pays me $25K a month in residuals for the rest of blah 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 blah. I am doing so financially well. That is why I'm sitting and promoting these garbage courses on LinkedIn. Always a telltale sign about successful business people. I have spent a few years on this earth at this point, and I have met with some pretty intelligent and also successful people, whether it be people who work professionally in investments or banking or business management or high-tier corporate or whatever it might be. You know what none of these people do? Sit and sell garbage courses on LinkedIn. Okay? None of them do it. Nobody. Ozzy Osbourne passed away. It's so sad. Here are 5 things that Oz taught me about startups and...
Are you serious?
I'll never forget the look on the urologist's face when he asked if I was all familiar with robotic surgery, and I told him, I work at NVIDIA. But your position is enterprise AI marketing. You work in marketing, okay? How
What the fuck? One of my posts ended up on a Reddit thread called LinkedIn Lunatics. Here we go. Why are so many people bothering to... Oh my god. While LinkedIn can be full of complete rubbish, like me calling someone a twit, it's also a place of huge opportunity. Wow. Have you listened to our latest podcast episode about all things LinkedIn and how posting consistently can yield amazing results? What? Posting on LinkedIn taught me about posting on LinkedIn, 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 about posting.
Just ended an interview 60 seconds ago. Me, hey, how are you? Him,
counting down the hours to the weekend.
I sense that this is not a culture fit. Sorry. He was super mad. But I think early stage startups are too hard to have people who count down the hours. Thoughts? You're unhinged. You're absolutely unhinged. Thank you. People are allowed to look forward to the weekends, okay? At this startup, we are like a family in that we will literally replace your family. You don't even have to go home during the weekends. You can just spend time with us. You know, you want to play with your kid? You have Steve in marketing instead. He's kind of fun. He likes Duplo.
Musky Husky. I instantly lose respect for anyone who posts on LinkedIn. Unbearably cringe.
My god, the Musky Husky being based. If anybody knows cringe, it's Elon.
Our lord of cringe. Praise be the cringe.
People love their dogs. I love making $1,000 when people bring their dogs to an Airbnb. Tell me again why you don't allow pets at your Airbnb. Guest paid for 5 nights, $2,400. Cleaning fee, almost $300. Guest service fee. What's included in the guest service fee that isn't included in the regular price and the cleaning fee? Anyway, there is a guest service fee, $500. Occupancy taxes, pet fee $1,000. Total, $4,500 for 5 nights. For 5 nights. That's the equivalent of like a really high-end luxury hotel experience where sometimes you can even get like your own little cabin or whatever. This is incredibly fucking expensive, okay? Like, Jesus Christ, dude. And they say Airbnbs are a scam. I mean, to be fair, I have been at a couple of good Airbnbs, don't get me wrong. Some Airbnb, like, owners or people that rent are actually, like, genuinely good peeps. And then you have stuff like this. You want to bring your puppy? That'll be $10,000. Thank you. I feel like some aspects of Airbnb-ing is just like landlording on absolute crack. Am I the only one who feels that way? LinkedIn influencers are just built different. Last week, my econ professor asked me, Jack, would you rather take $10 million now or receive $10,000 per week for the rest of 50 years? Without batting an eye, I said, neither. I would rather pay you $10,000 a week. Shocked, he replied, that's insane. No economic model would suggest you to do this. Insane? I replied. Not at all. If you give me money, I lose my drive. I go soft. I might as well roll over and die. If I give you money, it makes me hungry. I have to grind to make more. I have to hustle. The only thing insane is that more people don't think like me. Is this satire? This has to be satire, right? I'm gonna say this is satire and be happy during the rest of my day. Thank you. Someone from staff filed for leave today. Reason she wrote, I want to watch Netflix the whole day and do laundry. I approved. Normalize approving leaves that are not for emergency situations. Mental health is important. Honesty is important. Oh my god, an absolutely based post on LinkedIn? Maybe there are some nuggets out there after all. LinkedIn, there is hope for you yet. Want to know why BlackRock pays quants $400,000? This interview question reveals what they're really looking for. Hint, it's not your math skills. BlackRock, quantitative analysis interview question. Murderers in a field. You're guarding 100 murderers in a field and you have a gun with a single bullet. If any one of the murderers has a non-zero probability of surviving, he will attempt to escape. If a murderer is certain of death, he will not attempt to escape. How do you stop them from escaping? Wait, if a murderer has a non-zero probability of surviving, he will attempt to escape. Okay, so if they have any chance of surviving, they will try to escape, basically. But if he is certain of death, he will not attempt to escape. All right, you have one bullet. You say the first one to try to escape, I shoot in the face. There you go. Is that the answer to the question? What a weird question. How long can you stare at your wife? L&T chairman says he wants employees to work on Sunday too. Woo! You see what I mean? We're a family at this company. Now you can play with us instead of your stupid kids. The chairman of Larson & Turbo SN has come under fire for saying that employees should work 90 hours a week. How long can you stare at your wife, Steve? I saw her last Christmas party. She doesn't even produce a good ROI. Absolutely disgusting. Have you discussed your KPIs with your 4-year-old kids over dinner table recently? I didn't think so. What does your family bring to the table if not good KPIs, Steve? Texas congressional candidate released a video demonstrating the punishment she wants for illegal aliens who kill Americans. She would have my vote.
It's that simple. Public executions for any illegal that R-words or kills Americans.
And here she is, like, shooting a doll in the forest, I guess? Only way to stop them. This is on LinkedIn. This is what people post for, like, their colleagues and allegedly professional networks. Let me just, like, I don't know, publicly execute this tied-up doll in the forest. Oh my god. Man, the good old days with public executions. Man, society was so much better then, apart from the fact that most people couldn't vote, or, like, people died of plague. There were no trash collecting. Society kind of sucked in general. Average life expectancy was, like, pretty heckin'. But, you know, it was public executions, baby. Man, back in my day. Just imagine asking your wholesome little grandpa, like, Grandpa, what do you miss the most about your back in the day and stuff? Like, oh, I still have the sweet nostalgia about those public executions. Oh, what the Grandpa? 6 months ago, I found a new method to maximize my productivity. I found 3 days in a single day. Morning, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., 4-hour day. Take 2 hours break, eat, sleep, and refresh. Evening, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., 4-hour day. Wait, dude, the 1 hour disappeared there somewhere. It's a three-hour break, right? Take 2-hour break. Walk, workout, ready. Night, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., 4-hour day. Okay, and then you only sleep for 7 hours, 6 hours, if you count stuff like, you know, getting ready in the morning or showering before bed or, you know, whatever routines you have. So, and also missing an hour there in the middle of the day. So I don't know, man. Maybe he can't math because he's getting too sleep deprived, but his grind set schedule, wouldn't be surprised. Don't kick your kids out at 18. Charge them $1,200 a month in rent until they turn 25. How to maximize profits from having kids? Have you considered just becoming a landlord for your own family? It's pretty fucking based. Show them how the real world operates. Budgeting, accountability, independence. But here's the catch. Save every cent. Discreetly, silently, without their knowledge. Then on their 25th birthday, give it all back as a down payment for their first house, their first business, or their first major investment. They didn't just receive money. They developed the habit. Okay, like, I can get behind helping your kids how to save and, like, build long-term, you know, investments or whatever, but this is kind of weird. If they could afford $1,200, why would they live with their parents? Yeah, that's also the thing. Like, you can find a nice apartment, have a roommate, and probably pay less than this anyway, and it would be easier to have, like, friends over and do what you want, or, you know, date a partner without your parents looking over your shoulder, that kind of stuff. I don't think most people would live at home for $1,200 a month. If you can afford $1,200 a month in rent at 18, you wouldn't live at home.
About born on Hitler's birthday. What? Born to defy his legacy. He chose oppression. I chose justice.
That's a pretty interesting line to start off your description on LinkedIn with. Why even mention it? Like, it's so loosely connected.
Born to defy his legacy.
Like she's his nephew that served in the US Navy or some shite.
Born on 420 based, that's yeah, based.
Everyone is talking about the Polish CEO who grabbed the hat from the boy at the US Open. I just saw he came out and apologized. He said he made a serious mistake, and it was a lesson in humility. While it wasn't the best look for the CEO, I think this was a missed life lesson for the boy. You can't expect to have everything handed to you. I mean, let's be real. The boy's tickets were purchased by his parents. The CEO worked his you-know-what off to be there. What do you think? Ah yes, this 8-year-old boy doesn't purchase his own tickets. He doesn't even pay rent, actually. He doesn't even have a job. Disgusting. Piece of child. This CEO, on the other hand, he steals from children, which is based because he has a salary. Precious letter from my family today. What a great way to start a vacation day. Yes, Amazon changed our lives in just 10 years. Thank you, all authentic leaders. Blah, blah, blah.
Dear Daddy, today does not only mark 10 years of working at Amazon, it also marks 10 years of hard work, determination, decision, and playing hard after working very, very hard. You joining Amazon on 8/4/2015.
It's so nice that his little kids remember the exact day he switched positions at the workplace.
Thank you, Daddy, from Blorping, Oregon.
This is like ridiculously fake. It's fascinating how fake this is. It's amazing. r/LinkedIn Lunatics. Yet another lunatic defending him.
Before you talk poo about Elon, calculate your net worth. It's not even 1% to Elon's. I don't respect those people who poo on Elon for no reason.
You can't criticize people if you have a lower net worth than them. Got it.
Look, Mom, I'm famous. I made it to the LinkedIn Lunatic subreddit.
I'm not sure if that's something to be proud of. And also the take that you can't criticize people who have a higher net worth than you is insane. I am sitting in a first-class flight yesterday. I am very wealthy. And notice something. The woman across from me reading a book. The man behind me reading on his tablet. The couple in front of me both reading. What I bet what the people in the back and coach were doing. Mindless scrolling, mindless watching, killing time. Success leaves clues. Yes, indeed. You see, when someone in first class is scrolling on their iPad, they are reading and studying and grinding in a straight way. But when people in like economy do it, it's doom scrolling and brain rot. Follow me for more of this. E. Musk working 16 hours. Wait, did you frame a tweet from Musk? Oh my God. Working 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks in a year, and people still calling me lucky. This might be the most Elon Musk tweet ever printed on a wall. 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. Founders will understand the feeling. Everyone else will debate it. Can you imagine showing up for an interview at like a startup or whatever, and they have Elon Musk tweets framed on the walls? Is this like the live, laugh, love equivalent, but for like LinkedIn people? I swear to God. It's easy to work 16 hours a day when you consider things like flying on your private jet to a lunch meeting with someone and tweeting all day. Work. Yep. Yeah, everything is work.
I once interviewed a candidate who said all the right things, but leaned so far into the camera I thought he might crawl through the screen. Great resume, solid skills, but the vibe? Pure desperation. Here's the truth. Recruiters can smell neediness faster than we smell coffee in the morning. Recruiters that go on like weird power trips on LinkedIn are a special breed in the workplace, aren't they? Oh gee, someone actively applying for jobs is looking for a job. Who the f*** would have thunk it, Stacy? Everyone talks pain. Everyone talks heartbreak. Everyone talks burnout. Everyone talks missed quota. But did you ever lose a dragon scimitar in the wilderness? That's a pain that truly sticks with you. Circa 2010, I was level 92, yes, paid member, yes, I think about it often. I still wake up screaming at 3 a.m. thinking of this memory. Trauma is just spicy nostalgia, after all. Advanced blockchain something, it sounds like absolute bogus. Anyway, dedication means pushing through critical engineering deadlines as we welcome our first child into this world. Our son will learn from day one what a committed Alpha Sigma grinder the father is. And look at this. I'm in the hospital with my wife, but I'm grinding, still grinding, baby. Wait a second, this image is AI, man. Look at the screen. You look at this like monitor screen there in the back. It's just gibberish. This is just AI. It's not even real. You couldn't even like take your own grind set picture. It's so fake. There is so many of us in the right age, right stage of careers, financially independent, emotionally ready, and genuinely looking for a genuine partner to build a life with. If you can relate to this, here's an experiment. If LinkedIn can get us jobs, clients, mentors, and investors, why can't it help us find love? Let's start something called Open to Marry. If you're genuinely ready, just drop your profession and city in the comments. If we cross 100 comments, the city with the most entries will get its own office events filled with laughter, fun games, and maybe your first courtship moment. Hashtag Open to Marry. Download a dating app, bro. Download Tinder, man. There are places like this already. Jesus Christ. This would be like if your workplace gathers all the singles in the office and just cramps them together in the kitchen. Like, yeah.
Absolutely powerful quotes.
Hard times create strong men.
Oh, God.
Strong men create good times.
Oh, my
Good
God.
times
I
create
hate that
weak
quote
men.
so
Weak men
much.
create hard times.
And also AI slop on LinkedIn. The AI slop has hit the LinkedIn.
Mom, why are we so poor? Your dad was convicted it was too cringy to engage with people on LinkedIn and ignored it completely as sales and marketing.
Look at this. We AI generated this picture of a family to make the kitchen look more poor. You see, we have a poor kitchen now because your father wasn't influencing on LinkedIn enough because he's poor and he thinks like a poor. Happy Halloween. Last year I was a poop. My wife was a diaper. Our son was a baby wipe. Okay, your wife isn't a diaper. She's wearing a diaper. The poop costume I can sort of get behind. I don't know, man. I could get behind like quirky fit ideas, you know, for Halloween and stuff. But I don't know, man. I don't know. The dude shows up for the company Halloween party dressed as a terrorist. You can make this up. What's with all the Halloween posts? This person, the terminated employee pictured here, was quoting as saying, "I thought the people I worked with were fun and cool, but I guess they're far from it. Looks like I learned my lesson. Just a misunderstanding? A single lapse in judgment? Nope. Last year he allegedly asked a female employee if he could sample some of her milk." HR, please make it clear that it's not appropriate to your staff. Oh, is that a Jaeger bomb vest? Is that the joke? That's really funny. Like, I probably wouldn't wear this to, like, an office party. But, you know, with the right friends, you know, where the vibe is right and everyone is doing the whole satirical thing, like, yeah, that'd be really funny. I would laugh. I can appreciate the Jaeger bomb vest. There are 2 ways to be unemployed on LinkedIn. Open to work, experienced founder, stealth startup. Based. The 60 billion probiotic industry exists because we forgot what my Indian grandparents understood instinctively. The cleanliness of cow dung. Why does this have 90 likes? Why do they like... Okay. Talking to a LinkedIn co-founder is equivalent to ingesting 5 pounds of cow shit. Man, it's a valuable exchange that will teach you all you need to know about client marketing.
Today marks 2 years since my job interview. While I was in labor, my water broke 4 minutes before the Zoom interview. I calmly told my husband, "I'll do this interview really quickly, then we can head to the hospital." He looked at me like I was absolutely crazy. I wonder why. I finished the interview, headed to the hospital, and after a delightful 33 hours of waiting, my baby arrived. Clearly, I had time for that interview. Do I recommend it? Absolutely not. I blame the hormones. Did I get the job? No. And I also blame the hormones. Great memories of the time I was job hunting while pregnant. I thought it was going to be inspirational. I didn't expect the twist at the end. I was like, did I get the job? Also, no. It is kind of a funny story. I did laugh, to be fair. But yeah, it's probably a good lesson to not do, I suppose. I know some people are comment like, oh, water breaking doesn't necessarily mean that it's like, you know, time right now, etc., etc. But also probably not something that would be like highly recommended, you know. Oh my god. This cartoon is based on a true story. The one plane flight that changed my life. I knew this person was the executive in my insurance company who was doing sales right, so I was desperate to learn from him. But of course he was a busy executive and has no real reason to spend time with a young punk like me. My solution: ask around about his travel schedule and buy a ticket on the same flight that he was on. I can't promise that every bold step you take like this will work out for you like it did for me, but he sat down with me on that flight and shared so much wisdom that I have never forgotten. I have never regretted buying that ticket, and I am convinced you won't regret the bold steps you take either. Oh, you bought a ticket on this flight just so you could pick my brain? I'm impressed. Okay, you got 2 hours. Let's talk. Update: I know for a fact he has blocked him on LinkedIn. So I asked about his address and gained entry to his house and hopped into his bed to wait for him to come home from work so I could pick his brain. And other things too. I put my whole heart into this creation. I hope it gets a little love here. Oh my god, 2,000 likes. The Facebook AI slop has officially reached LinkedIn. What a beautiful world we live in. Hey, introverts. You don't have to be the loudest voice in the room. Look, this is a boss. This is a leader. This is an introvert. And the introvert with AI built a train and also produces AI slop for LinkedIn. This is really inspirational. 200 likes. The bar is in hell. I was really uncomfortable at the office because I was fixing a broken windowsill and stuff like that. And I had a colleague that was just staring at me weird. So I took a picture of it so I could report it to HR. Look at this. Look at this. Who does this? Who does this? Just lays on the floor and and investors. Why can't it help us find love? Let's start something called Open to Marry. If you're genuinely ready, just drop your profession and city in the comments. If we cross 100 comments, the city with the most entries will get its own office events filled with laughter, fun games, and maybe your first courtship moment. Hashtag Open to Marry. Download a dating app, bro. Download Tinder, man. There are places like this already. Jesus Christ. This would be like if your workplace gathers all the singles in the office and just cramps them together in the kitchen. Like, yeah, absolutely powerful quotes.
Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. And also AI slop on LinkedIn. The AI slop has hit the LinkedIn.
Mom, why are we so poor? Your dad was convinced that it was too cringy to engage with people on LinkedIn and ignored it completely as sales and marketing.
Look at this. We AI generated this picture of a family to make the kitchen
Oh,
look
no,
more
you
poor.
don't.
You see? We have a poor kitchen now because your father wasn't influencing on LinkedIn enough because he's poor and he thinks like a poor. Happy Halloween. Last year, I was a poop. My wife was a diaper. Our son was a baby wipe. Okay, your wife isn't a diaper. She's wearing a diaper. The poop costume I can sort of get behind. I don't know, man. I could get behind like quirky fit ideas, you know, for Halloween and stuff. But I don't know, man. I don't know. The dude shows up for the company Halloween party dressed as a terrorist. You can make this up. What's with all the Halloween posts? This person, the terminated employee pictured here, was quoting as saying, "I thought the people I worked with were fun and cool, but I guess they're far from it. Looks like I learned my lesson. Just a misunderstanding? A single lapse in judgment? Nope. Last year he allegedly asked a female employee if he could sample some of her milk." HR, please make it clear there's not appropriate to your staff. Oh, is that a Jaeger bomb vest? Is that the joke? That's really funny. Like, I probably wouldn't wear this to like an office party, but you know, with the right friends, you know, where the vibe is right and everyone is doing the whole satirical thing, like, yeah, that'd be really funny. I would laugh. I can appreciate the Jaeger bomb vest. There are 2 ways to be unemployed on LinkedIn. Open to work, experienced founder, stealth startup. Based. The 60 billion probiotic industry exists because we forgot what my Indian grandparents understood instinctively. The cleanliness of cow dung. Why does this have 90 likes? Why did they like... Okay. Talking to a LinkedIn co-founder is equivalent to ingesting 5 pounds of cow shit. Man, it's a valuable exchange that will teach you all you need to know about client marketing.
Today marks 2 years since my job interview. While I was in labor, my water broke 4 minutes before the Zoom interview. I calmly told my husband, "I'll do this interview really quickly, then we can head to the hospital." He looked at me like I was absolutely crazy. I wonder why. I finished the interview, headed to the hospital, and after a delightful 33 hours of waiting, my baby arrived. Clearly, I had time for that interview. Do I recommend it? Absolutely not. I blame the hormones. Did I get the job? No. And I also blame the hormones. Great memories of the time I was job hunting while pregnant. I thought it was going to be inspirational. I didn't expect the twist at the end. I was like, did I get the job? Also, no. It is kind of a funny story. I did laugh, to be fair. But yeah, it's probably a good lesson to not do, I suppose. I know some people are comment like, oh, water breaking doesn't necessarily mean that it's like, you know, time right now, etc., etc. But also probably not something that would be like highly recommended, you know. Oh my god. This cartoon is based on a true story. The one plane flight that changed my life. I knew this person was the executive in my insurance company who was doing sales right, so I was desperate to learn from him. But of course he was a busy executive, and there's no real reason to spend time with a young punk like me. My solution: ask around about his travel schedule and buy a ticket on the same flight that he was on. I can't promise that every bold step you take like this will work out for you like it did for me, but he sat down with me on that flight and shared so much wisdom that I have never forgotten. I have never regretted buying that ticket, and I am convinced you won't regret the bold steps you take either. Oh, you bought a ticket on this flight just so you could pick my brain? I'm impressed. Okay, you got 2 hours. Let's talk. Update: I know for a fact he has blocked him on LinkedIn. So I asked about his address and gained entry to his house and hopped into his bed to wait for him to come home from work so I could pick his brain. And other things too. I put my whole heart into this creation and hope it gets a little love here. Oh my god, 2,000 likes. The Facebook AI slop has officially reached LinkedIn. What a beautiful world we live in. Hey, introverts. You don't have to be the loudest voice in the room. Look, this is a boss. This is a leader.
All right.
This is an introvert.
Really well.
And the introvert with AI built the train and also produces AI slop for LinkedIn. This is really inspirational. 200 likes. The bar is in hell. I was really uncomfortable at the office because I was fixing a broken windowsill and stuff like that. And I had a colleague that was just staring at me weird. So I took a picture of it so I could report it to HR. Look at this. Look at this. Who does this? Who does this? Just lays on the floor and stares you down. It's incredibly unprofessional. He's not even helping me fix the stuff.
I don't know, man. HR is gonna have a field day with this one. Well, laddies, lasses, and lasses, I do hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed having you here, and I hope you learned how to be on that Sigma grind set. Grind until I see you in the next video. Bye. Mwah. The cleaning fee. Anyway, there is a guest service fee, $500, occupation taxes, pet fee $1,000. Total, $4,500 for 5 nights. For 5 nights. That's the equivalent of like a really high-end luxury hotel experience where sometimes you can even get like your own little cabin or whatever. This is incredibly fucking expensive, okay? Like, Jesus Christ, dude. And they say Airbnbs are a scam. I mean, to be fair, I have been at a couple of good Airbnbs, don't get me wrong. Some Airbnb, like, owners or people that rent are actually, like, genuinely good peeps. And then you have stuff like this. You want to bring your puppy? That'll be $10,000. Thank you. I feel like some aspects of Airbnb-ing is just like landlording on absolute crack. Am I the only one who feels that way? LinkedIn influencers are just built different. Last week, my econ professor asked me, Jack, would you rather take $10 million now or receive $10,000 per week for the rest of 50 years? Without batting an eye, I said, neither. I would rather pay you $10,000 a week. Shocked, he replied, that's insane. No economic model would suggest you to do this. Insane? I replied. Not at all. If you give me money, I lose my drive. I go soft. I might as well roll over and die. If I give you money, it makes me hungry. I have to grind to make more. I have to hustle. The only thing insane is that more people don't think like me. Is this satire? This has to be satire, right? I'm gonna say this is satire and be happy during the rest of my day. Thank you. Someone from staff filed for leave today. Reason she wrote, I want to watch Netflix the whole day and do laundry. I approved. Normalize approving leaves that are not for emergency situations. Mental health is important. Honesty is important. My God, an absolutely based post on LinkedIn? Maybe there are some nuggets out there after all. LinkedIn, there is hope for you yet. Want to know why BlackRock pays quants $400,000? This interview question reveals what they're really looking for. Hint, it's not your math skills. BlackRock, quantitative analysis interview question. Murderers in a field. You're guarding 100 murders in a field and you have a gun with a single bullet. If any one of the murderers has a non-zero probability of surviving, he will attempt to escape. If a murderer is certain of death, he will not attempt to escape. How do you stop them from escaping? Wait, if a murderer has a non-zero probability of surviving, he will attempt to escape. Okay, so if they have any chance of surviving, they will try to escape, basically. But if he is certain of death, he will not attempt to escape. Alright, you have one bullet. You say the first one to try to escape, I shoot in the face. There you go. Is that the answer to the what a weird question. How long can you stare at your wife? L&T chairman says he wants employees to work on Sunday too. Woo! You see what I mean? We're a family at this company. Now you can play with us instead of your stupid kids. The chairman of Larson and Turbo SN has come under fire for saying that employees should work 90 hours a week. How long can you stare at your wife, Steve? I saw her last Christmas party. She doesn't even produce a good ROI. Absolutely disgusting. Have you discussed your KPIs with your 4-year-old kids over dinner table recently? I didn't think so. What does your family bring to the table if not good KPIs, Steve? Texas congressional candidate released a video demonstrating the punishment she wants for illegal aliens who kill Americans. She would have my vote. It's that simple. Public executions for any illegal that R-words or kills Americans. And here she is, like, shooting a doll in the forest, I guess. Only way to stop them. This is on LinkedIn. This is what people post for, like, their colleagues and allegedly professional networks. Let me just, like, how to publicly execute this tied-up doll in the forest. Oh my god. Man, the good old days with public executions. Man, society was so much better then, apart from the fact that most people couldn't vote, or, like, people died of plague. There were no trash collecting. Society kind of sucked in general. Average life expectancy was like pretty heckin'. But you know, it was public executions, baby. Man, back in my day. Just imagine asking your wholesome little grandpa, like, Grandpa, what do you miss the most about your back in the day and stuff? Like, oh, I still have the sweet nostalgia about those public executions. Oh, Grandpa? 6 months ago,
Alrighty. Now we got that done. Got that done. Alright. Didn't take me long. So we are gonna call it here. It's ready to rock. This picture is ready to rock. So we're going to call it here. Hold on, let's go ahead and we're gonna send y'all out there. Thank you for watching this stream. I was here on Twitch and YouTube. We're both on Twitch and YouTube. I had fun reacting to the video from Antonio Speaks. Really cool channel, really cool topic. If I get another chance, I'm maybe do some more videos like that, because I have tried to tickle with those type of videos before, but I don't know, it usually gets like really weird. It gets like really weird sometimes. Like, you know, it just depends on the topic, because I can't get to like everything. But until then, yeah, it was like really cool. But for now, follow me on my social medias. I'm trying to get back on posting those again. There's a concurrent theme on those. And I will see you guys in the next one, because Googlicious, a peace. And I also have to take care of this creature. No.
At the same time, white gold pants, jet ski, marijuana, foie gras, Buster, Albert Einstein, get money at my motherfucking.
It's okay to pinch. It'll be fine. It'll have like a little time to do it. I'm back. You better not be digging. I ate so much that a bitch that meant to be at least a dozen cake pops reduced to be 7. You ate that many? I love how you actually bake so much, Bluester. Oh my god.